We are now recording.
Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome to tonight's virtual plan amendment community meeting for MPA 2020-005.01. If you haven't done so already, please let us know in the chat box your name and the organization if you are affiliated with one. We use this as our sign-in sheet. Please mute your microphone if you are joining by phone and also by computer. We also ask that you turn off your video if you're participating online, because this helps save bandwidth. How to participate today. The speech bubble in the menu bar at the bottom of your screen will open the chat box where you can type in questions at any time. This is the same chat box where you would be adding your name and organization. After the presentations, you can click on the raise hand icon to be called on to speak. So tonight, we're going to go ahead and introduce the staff and the applicants who are participating tonight. So my name is Maureen Meredith. I am the Plan Amendment Planner with the City of Austin. Next is Mark Walters.
Hi, I'm Mark Walters. I'm a Principal Planner with the Housing and Planning Department, and I'll be moderating this evening's questions.
Tori or Ron?
Sorry, I was speaking and y'all couldn't hear me. My name is Victoria Hasse. I'm with Thrower Design. I'm here to represent the property owner and developer for this site.
Ron Thrower, Thrower Design.
Okay, so we will go ahead and start. So as y'all know, this is in the Montopolis neighborhood planning area. This is the case number again, NPA 2020-0005.01. I'm the Plan Amendment Case Manager. Kate Clark is the Zoning Case Manager, and this is her contact information. The agenda tonight, we'll go over a little bit more information about the Plan Amendment and Zoning case. We'll go over guidelines for group discussion, how to participate in the process, why there is a Plan Amendment application, what is a future land use map. Then we'll have the applicant presentation, and then we'll go into a question and answer. So again, this is the case information. The property is 1013 to 1017 Montopolis Drive. Here's the case number again. The project name is Montopolis Acres. The future land use map request is to change from single family to multifamily land use. The associated zoning case number is C14 2020-0029. The zoning request is to go from SF3 NP, that's single family residential, to multifamily 6 for a multifamily development. And here we have the owner applicant, and as you met, Ron and Victoria from Thrower Design. Guidelines for group discussion. As you know, because of COVID-19, there is a need for social distancing. So in-person questions and comments have been moved to this online format. Everyone will be allowed to speak. We ask that you listen respectfully and actively. To criticize ideas, not individuals. Commit to learning, not debating. Avoid blame, speculation, inflammatory language. Avoid assumptions about others, especially based on their perceived social group, and staff reserves the right to delete offensive language and remove offenders from the meeting. So far, we have not had any problems with participants thus far with our community meetings online. Some more guidelines. Please feel free to type your questions into the chat at any time during the meeting. After the staff and applicant presentations, if you would like to speak, please raise your hand by clicking the hand symbol in the menu bar. Telephone participants will be able to speak during the Q&A session of the meeting. Just let us know if you have any questions. Just speak up and we'll get you in the queue. Attendees will be muted upon arrival and through the staff and applicant presentations. Then staff will open the floor to questions and answers in the chat or by attendees raising their hands to speak. Similar questions may be grouped together and answered together. Please mute your microphone when you are not speaking for the sake of sound quality and clarity of conversation. If you are having connection issues, please turn off your video until called upon to ask your questions. So again, how to participate. If you have questions after this meeting, they will be answered and made available by request within 5 business days on the website speakupboston.org in PA. You can just email me or Kate, the zoning planner, your questions, and we'll get that answered and posted. Again, you can email or call the case manager with any questions or comments that you might have. You can provide written comments that will be added to the staff case reports that go before Planning Commission and City Council. If you live within 500 feet of the property and or you've registered on the community registry as an neighborhood organization, you will get a notice in the mail when the cases have been scheduled for Planning Commission and City Council with instructions on how to participate in the virtual public hearings. So why is there a neighborhood plan amendment? So neighborhood plans are adopted by City Council as amendments to the Imagine Austin Comprehensive Plan. The city charter requires zoning changes to be consistent with the comprehensive plan. Most neighborhood plan amendments are amendments to the plan's future land use map, and most neighborhood plan amendment applications have an associated zoning application. So this map shows in blue areas that have City Council approved neighborhood plans, most of which have a future land use map. So this is what a future land use map looks like, and these colors represent broad land uses. For example, yellow represents the single family land use, pink represents office, brown, mixed use, etc. And this next chart shows the zoning districts that are considered compatible with those land use categories. So right now this property is zoned SF3 and it has a land use of single family. The proposed zoning is MF6. So the proposed land use is multifamily, and that would be the orange color. So this is an aerial photo that shows the property in relation to the Montopolis Drive corridor. It is on the east side. Here's a Google map that shows some of the surrounding uses to the property. You can see Montopolis Rec Center across the street. This is the future land use map that shows the land use to the north is mixed use. It's surrounded by some single family land use to the east, south, and west. The light blue color across the street is the Montopolis Rec Center, and that is the civic land use. This is the zoning map that shows the property zoned SF3. To the north is LOMU with a conditional overlay, and to the north of that is a planned unit development. To the east and south is SF3, and also to the west. This map shows the property in relation to the Imagine Austin Growth Concept Map. That reddish area is the Riverside Station Activity Center, and then the white line with the brown outline is the activity corridor, which is East Riverside Drive. So next we will go into a presentation by Ron Thrower and Victoria Haase. I'll stop sharing my screen. And so Tori, you can start at any time.
Okay, give me just 1 second. Okay, my name is Victoria Haase, and I'm with Thrower Design, representing the property owner. And the map I have in front of you is very similar to the map that Maureen showed. But what I wanted to point out here is the location of the property. The location of the property is outlined in blue, and we are requesting rezoning from SF3 to MF6. This property is over 3 acres of undeveloped land that does not propose to displace anyone. There isn't anyone living on the land, and the property is located along a major throughway for this neighborhood. It connects the major highway of 183 to Riverside, which, as Maureen mentioned, is an Imagine Austin activity center. You can see that the red lines are existing Capital Metro bus routes, and the green circles that you see are existing Capital Metro bus stops. So the property is very well situated to receive an increase in residential density, and we believe that the increase is the property can handle a significant increase being in its location. It would provide greater affordability, just in the sense of providing access to alternative modes of transportation. So that's one way that it would provide some affordability. The property is also nearly across the street from a recreational center and park. The property, I will mention, is also within a half mile of the Imagine Austin activity corridor that is Riverside, and that's also one of the corridors that will be receiving upgrades in the Project Connect that was just approved this week by City of Austin residents. So we do believe that this property is well situated to receive more density than what SF3 would allow. And we're asking for SF6 or MF6, and we believe that MF6 would allow a level of density that could potentially also contribute some affordability in terms of what units are offered for. But obviously, how many units can be offered will depend on how many units we're able to get through the rezoning process for this property. So we're here to listen to any comments, concerns, try to answer any questions before we get to public hearing. We make ourselves available tonight and also beyond tonight through email or phone. We would like to hear from the neighborhood and would like to do what we can to make this development a win-win for everyone. So we're here to answer questions, and that's about all I have.
Well, this is Mark Walters with Housing and Planning. Is anybody out who's attending this meeting tonight would have any questions directed towards either staff or the applicant? And if you could, please raise your hand and I will see to your question in the order that it's received. Well, I'm not seeing any just yet. We'll give it a couple minutes, and if not, we'll end the meeting early and we can get back to our evenings.
And Mark, I don't see anyone from the neighborhood logged in.
No, nor do I.
Yep, I understand. Need to give it a little time in case someone's logging in late.
Someone shows up, I gotta. Yeah. But I think experience with these has shown us that if somebody's not logged in within the first 10 minutes, they're not going to be.
Right.
So is the person GPP associated with the applicant?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think Tori's observation is right. Seeing that there's not anybody here from the community, you can put the final slide up and tell people, what's going next, and then we can end the meeting early. So Maureen, what's next in the process?
Okay. Can you see the slide with the contact
Yes,
information? Yeah. Okay. So the next step will be staff will meet to make a recommendation. The plan amendment staff will meet, then the zoning staff will meet. Once a recommendation has been finalized, we will start scheduling the cases for planning commission and city council. Again, if you live within 500, people who live within 500 feet will get the notice in the mail of the date and time and the process by which people can participate in the virtual meeting. And that's it.
Well, everybody, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And